Hi everybody, so today I'm going to talk to you about how you can tell if your work is inside out or not. I see this quite often with people who are making toys, so amigurumi, or making 3D objects where they start off going in one direction and then they can't really tell whether it's inside out or not, and then other people come along and say, oh, your work is inside out. So how can you really tell? Well, if you're working like this, so in continual spirals or in rounds, then your work has a noticeable outside and an inside, and they look different. And in the beginning, when you're starting to learn to crochet, it can be hard to tell the difference. So I'm going to show you some pointers how you can know if your work is inside out or not. So I'm just going to come really close up so that you can see really the stitches. So if you look very closely at the stitches here, what you can see is on the outside, so this is the outside of my work, you can see the little lines, so the legs, if you like, of my stitches. So you can see them very clearly on the outside. On the inside, it looks like this. And here you can't see the legs of the stitches. What you see is little bars that go across instead. So you can't see these two V's. So this is the inside and this is the outside. So what you're looking for is for each stitch, you're looking to see whether you can see the two little legs, which are the V's of your stitches. Now, I know that in the beginning, it's quite hard to tell the difference. So the other way that you can tell if your work is inside out, some people call this the noodle in the bowl. So when you start with a magic ring, your tail, so your end of the yarn, will always be on the inside. So here, if you think about my half of a sphere as a little bowl, so this is my tail and my tail is inside the bowl, if you like, so noodle in the bowl, and that's the outside. So the tail of my yarn is not on the outside. Another way that you can tell, which is also to do with the noodle in the bowl, is to look at how you are working. So when you're working in the round like this, you should be working in this direction. So your hook should be going in like this. So basically, I've got the bowl, if you like, behind me. Okay, so in front of me, when I'm putting my hook in like this, the work is not in front of me, the work is behind. So what I mean there is if it was inside out, I would be working like this, so that the work would be in front of me, okay? And there I'm actually working on the inside like this. So my hook always goes in from the outside to the inside. So here, my work is inside out, so I can look, the tail of my yarn is on the outside, the stitches look kind of bumpy instead of having the clear little V's, and my hook, when I put it in like this, is going with the work in front of me. Okay, so the work is in front of my hook, not behind my hook. So the good news is that if you notice that that's what you're doing, all you have to do is flip your work the right way around. And then you're working with the outside out and the inside in. Okay, and then you can just carry on working. And actually, it's much easier to be working with the outside facing you. When you've got the inside like this, it's a little bit annoying because the work is, this part of the crochet is just in the way. So, you know, when you're putting your hook in, you've got all this stuff in the way and it's hard work. So if you notice that it's a little bit hard work, then perhaps your work is inside out. So just flip it around so that you're working this way around. If you are left-handed, it's kind of the same thing. It's just that you will be working from this way to this way. So it's still the same principle. The work should be behind you and not in front of you. Okay, that's how you can tell whether you're working on the inside out. And when you're working like this as well, it's a good idea to really look at your stitches and be able to tell the difference between the outside and the inside. It is to me it looks very obvious, but I know that when you're starting out it really isn't. So just take a few minutes to have a look at the outside and the inside and see the difference and be able to spot what it looks like. But also, yes, looking at how you're putting your hook in and where you're working can also help a lot. When you are working in rows, there isn't a difference between the right side and the wrong side, because you will be working in one row, turning your work and then coming back. So in that situation, there isn't really a difference between the outside and the inside, if you like, because you don't have this 3D shape. Okay, so that's how to tell the inside from the outside. I hope that was helpful.